Back in the garage today, back in the garage today. What's going on, guys? Back in the garage today, getting ready to bleed the clutch on my 2016 KTM 1290 Super Adventure. This will work on all the 1090, 1190, 1290 models. I did a video on this about 5 years ago. I went back and rewatched it. It could have been better, a little bit better explanation, a little bit better visual, so we're gonna update it today. All right, so I just got back on a 600 plus mile day and a half trip, and I noticed early on a little bit too much free play in my clutch. And if you look at it here, just look how crappy this is. It was engaging in the wrong spot. So either I have air in the lines, or I'm low on fluid, or this fluid is just worn out and looks like old dirty pond water. So we're gonna crack into this cap here in a second. You need a Torx T20 bit. The only other tools you're gonna need is an 8mm box end, and you're also gonna need a syringe, a little piece of hose, and then obviously you're gonna need some .4 or .5.1 brake fluid. All right, so I'm just using a shop towel with a hole cut in it. We're just gonna push this down around. That way if anything spills out, we're okay. We're gonna use our T20 bit. Yeah, the fluid that's in there is dirty as crap, and there's not much fluid in there whatsoever, so it's time to get some in. All right, so next up we are gonna get whatever your favorite .4 or .5.1 brake fluid is. We're also gonna get a syringe with a hose that's gonna fit over top of the bleeder here. I don't remember what brand this one is. I'll link them down below. Normally I use the Tusk ones. This one I just happen to have laying around. I usually put a zip tie on mine just to keep it, so when you have the pressure on, keep it from busting off of there. But all you're gonna do is just put this down in your brake fluid and then pull some out. All right, so with our 8mm box end on here and our syringe, we're gonna crack this open. One thing you might wanna be careful of, sometimes these things get seized up. You might wanna put a 13 on here to hold it. And we're just gonna crack this open, squeeze, and then we'll watch what happens up top. Close the valve. And there we go. We've got a working clutch again. Now I've got to take a little bit of fluid out of the top up here because it's a little bit too much, and then we'll put the cap on. In fact, I'm going to dab some of this out because it's the older fluid, and we're going to do this one more time so we've got clean fluid throughout. I'm just going to soak it up with a shop towel, and then do the same process again. Close the valve. A little bit of air in there this time. Close the valve. Still an air bubble or two. We'll do this a couple more times till it's all out of there. There we go. Clutch feels nice and firm now. We're just going to take a little bit of excess out of there and get the cap back on. You just want to make sure you have a nice, even, firm clutch pull there. Good. Make sure your cap's clean. Set it back down on. I'm sure there's a torque spec for this, but snug's good. You can see there's a little bit of brake fluid coming out of there. It's okay. You can get some brake cleaner. And then the last step, come down here, put your unused fluid back in your container. Make sure that's good and snug, and then we're just going to put our little rubber boot back on top to keep dirt out of there. And that's it. All right, guys, so hopefully that video was a little bit easier to understand than my previous one about how to bleed a clutch on one of these things. I will link any of the specialty tools or brake fluid, that sort of stuff down below to make it a little easier if you're putting your shopping list together. But don't be like me. Change it way more often than what I have. I should have never let it get that bad. My fault. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider that subscribe button, because if you like motorcycles, well, this is the place to be. If you have a question about any of the process or whatever, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer it. And as always, I'll talk to you again soon.